We're here, another rendition of the Den of the Djinn. Welcome, welcome, and do us all a favor and sit down. And do us all a favor also, do not touch the treasure. Trust me, not a good idea. Anyway, and if you're asking what treasure, well, maybe you already have it. I'm kidding. Anyway, today we're here having a conversation. I had a interesting situation. I was looking at this thing, and mind you, yes, it was a fictional scenario from a TV show. I'm pretty sure it was like a Law and Order kind of TV show, where this from what I understood, the concept where this kid, this college student, was basically suing their college for trying to take away, I think it was some kind of app, like a voice recognition app or something like that, which is amazing. Honestly, I feel like, hey, how's it going? Thank you for checking my video. Please do me a favor, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. You have arrived. What are you, All Might? I am here. Come out of nowhere. No, thank you for coming, by the way. But no, like I was saying, I was watching this scene, and mind you, I'm pretty sure, yes, it is very fictional. Nice. Anyway, so yeah, it was a fictional scene that I saw. It was a Law and Order kind of situation, but like, again, bare minimum, the student is basically suing their basically chancellor of their college, because they're trying to take basically permission and or all royalties to app they developed, right? The problem was this chancellor was so uppity, like, oh my fucking gods. And mind you, from what I saw, it was one of those private colleges, one of those colleges where your rent and or mortgage plus your car mortgage was for half a semester in this specific college. I'm not surprising, because some of those places are ridiculous and they have high standards, on top of the fact that, you know, the faculties are like lower learning, you know. And the problem I have is this guy's attitude. Okay, so basically, he was just basically saying, well, yes, we have the right to take away and take all credit and or because you guys developed it on campus. I'm like, what the fuck? So the lawyer goes, okay, you know what is this? It's like, oh, that's my book. Yeah, okay, cool, your book. Do you get royalties out of this? It goes, yeah, I get royalties. How much? I have no idea. And then the lawyer just nails him and goes, well, I do. About 17 grand minimum. I'm like, God damn. And the only reason why that royalty is so high is because he makes it mandatory in one of his own own schools as a textbook. Yes, folks, he is such a fucking egotistical bastard that he puts his own work as a textbook, and mandatory at that. So the students have to actually buy this said book as a textbook. Like, why the fuck would anybody, like, he's just basically trying to get his own, he's just basically trying to profit, and he's still trying to take another kid, basically a kid's hard-earned work. I cast banishment. Man, I don't give two shits about your opinion either. Fuck off. I'm not sitting here, and if you don't like what I have to say, guess what? I'll Wiedersehen. And I don't give two shits about your opinion either. Anyway, basically, the guy gets laughed out of the court, and even the judge is fed up with his attitude. It's like, well, I don't think is relevant. It's like, well, shut the hell up, because guess what? It is relevant, because you don't have the right to take another person's, hard work. And he goes, well, they did it on student campus. It's like, well, guess what? Unless they have it, you guys have it in writing, you can't take that shit away. You can't take that shit away from kids. They're handling their own shit. They're making their shit with their own ability. All you're trying to do is fucking cash in and leave them out of it. You're basically stealing. And ladies and gentlemen, as fictitious as this scene was, I'm not actually surprised that there would be there are places here on Earth, especially here in the United States, that there are people that do that shit, and they get away with it because they have money. Ladies and gentlemen, I wouldn't be surprised at all if that ever happened. So do yourselves a favor. When you're making something up, or you're in a position where things get a little dicey when you're inventing, do yourselves a favor. Make sure you document every finding, document every little schematic of whatever you're making, and watermark it. Bazinga. Why would I say bazinga? Come on, man. I don't have to say bazinga. I'm kidding, man. I'm giving you credit. Nah, but like I said, if you guys have ideas, go out there, make them happen. Don't be afraid. Do yourselves a favor, though. Make sure that you document. No, okay, no problem, man. And make sure you guys document that shit. Document it. Make sure that they have no way of taking it from you. Make sure that you yourselves have proof that you are the one that created this, step by step, from scratch, from its conception to the first prototype. You have to do that, because especially these days, because there are people out there that will find an idea and latch onto it like a fucking germ and basically bastardize it, turn it into something. Ladies and gentlemen, I couldn't tell you how many times I've heard stories about things that could have saved us in many times, cures, machinery that could have easily have done so much good, and then they bastardize it and turn it into some kind of weapon, or just throw it away because they thought, well, if we can't profit off of this, it ain't gonna happen. Ladies and gentlemen, you have every right to your ideas. The government has no right to take them and throw them away. That, ladies and gentlemen, is just basically telling us that if we don't condone it, it can't happen. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the reasons why I feel like we have the piss poor government right now, is because our government is basically telling us that we have no right to express ourselves anymore. Now, I actually heard this. I don't know if it was more of a feed that I saw, a video that was basically explaining something that scared the hell out of me. That right now they're passing something that basically, you know how here in the United States we have three branches of government, right? For checks and balances, to make sure that one entity is not superseding the others. Well, guys, there's actually a point where our illustrious bullshit leader, and I do call him a bullshit leader, because he every time he opens his mouth is nothing but bullshit. He is basically trying to pass, I don't know if it was a bill or something like this. It was just basically passing something through Congress, I think it was, that dissolves one branch of the three checks balances and give it to the legislative, basically giving the president all the power. And I'm like, no, don't do that. Two reasons. Two reasons. One, we don't need him having that much power, because that is yeah, guys. Again, ownership is not only the ownership of the product, ladies and gentlemen. Ownership is also, you have to prove that you yourself made said product. And a lot of times people, and mind you, this is going down to also um, a very dangerous situation, because I'm a gamer, and I don't know what you heard, but okay, awesome. I didn't know that. Good for Farnsworth, especially for us, because we're enjoying it. I'm assuming 200 years in the future. What I'm trying to tell you guys is, if we keep letting governments and corporations do whatever they want, we'll eventually get to the point where we won't be able to own anything, let alone leased. I'll be right back, guys. Lo mismo. Love you. Anywho, so basically, all I'm saying, guys, is help me get that word out. Help me tell these governments, these corporations, to fuck off our rights. Tell these people, hey, you have no right to tell me that I can't own this, because you have a stick up your ass. Same thing with the governments. Don't be tell them, hey, government, leave me alone. I'm here because I wanted to have. I'm. The point, and yes, I understand what you're trying to say. The point, and you're actually proving my point. He had, uh, he had a way, because he had, documentation, all that, right? And mind you, either it was documentation on his part, or the lack of documentation on their part. Point was, make sure you are the one with a bigger paper trail, because that way you, ladies and gentlemen, are the one telling the judge, hey, this is mine because I have proof that it belongs to me. Ladies and gentlemen, how great is it to go up to a big owner? You see, again, you're proving my point. He had the proof. He said, this is my proof. This is showing me that showing you guys that I made this, and I'm getting the credit. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pretty sure. Oh, okay, thank you, appreciate it. Because, like I said, it goes for everything, including patents. And the problem was, nobody fought. Hey, how's it going, KKQ girl? Thank you for checking out my video. Please like and subscribe. It definitely helps the channel. Anyway, guys, so what I'm saying is, and this is actually regarding the whole, Nintendo thing. Yes, I'm actually going to be explaining something. Ladies and gentlemen, the only reason why Nintendo is actually being able to do this without any kind of immunity, with immunity and everything, is because a lot of people are taking for granted that nobody is going to be so greedy and say, hey, I'm someone that brought up certain mechanics, like, for instance, the whole Pokemon, summoning thing. They actually took away the ability to do something like that. Guys, It isn't the first game that has ever done that where you can summon a monster or summon a creature or whatever and fight for you. Ladies and gentlemen, there are so many games that will basically be hindered because of this. And why? Because nobody decided to say, hey, Nintendo, knock that shit off, man. Like, why the fuck are you doing this? It's like, it's because Nintendo wants to develop a monopoly. Ladies and gentlemen, they went from I love gaming to I love money. And I want your money. You don't deserve your money, so I'm going to take it from you. So I'm going to upcharge you everything. It's and you know what's even fun? You know what's even more messed up, guys? I'm actually watching sketches where even the in, even even PlayStation, ladies and gentlemen, is basically saying, "Oh, wow, you got you. I mean, I know I'm bad, but this is ridiculous. This is not okay that you're doing this because what? You think you're better than everybody? No, you're not. Exactly. Put some watermark on it, ladies and gentlemen. Don't ever take for granted that you have. Don't ever take for granted that you have full ownership over something, a concept, an idea, an invention. Don't ever consider yourself the owner because someone will be out there and say, "Hey, oh shit, I like that idea. Write it down," and all of a sudden it's patented, so you can never use it, and it's just fucking hey, man. No, it's literally just money. It's all money these days, guys. Fame. I mean, honestly, folks, I doubt internet. I doubt certain named already uh, places want the fame. They just want to know that they are dominant, ladies and gentlemen. And if you guys are wondering why I feel that way, is because it's been proven that these guys are trying to basically corner the market in certain things. Yes, I understand there's been wars about console wars, you know, the whole console war thing. But did you ever notice that the console war thing has been kind of dying out? It has nothing to do with anything but you know the companies are like, you know what, I'm tired of this. I'm just gonna focus on making great games and fuck the rest. Apparently, ladies and gentlemen, apparently that apparently the issue is you can't make good games without competition. Well, technically that's kind of true. The problem is there's certain companies that are trying to take that away from you. Agreed, agreed, and that's why I tell you guys, if you have an idea, don't automatically think it's yours, and not for the reason you think. It's actually more of the reason you wouldn't think. Don't assume that it's yours automatically until you write it down. Until you write it down, fucking password protect it. Don't ever assume that it belongs to you because it doesn't technically until unfortunately the worst thing I could say is you it doesn't belong to you until unfortunately legally it belongs to you. Yes, we have made a society where someone else has to tell you, yep, it belongs to you. It belongs to this person. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the only time anybody can say for real that it belongs to you because the courts, the said courts, has deemed it so. And what are courts? A bunch of people that just don't know any better. So again, If you want to put your hands in the if you want to put your fate in the hands of random people or a random person up there, and this person is going to judge you. Literally, that's the only reason that they're up there. They're going to judge you and say to themselves, do they deserve this idea? Do they deserve this idea? Who knows? They could be so unscrupulous and say, nope, you don't deserve this idea, and then steal it themselves. Look, I'm being dead honest. I wouldn't be surprised if there has been situations that shit happened. Why do I feel like that shit has happened? Well, guess what? I'm pretty sure my imagination isn't. I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure I'm not the first guy that has ever thought that line of thinking. I mean, come on, guys. I'm just a random guy on the internet making videos about random shit on the net, but these ideas, again, I'm pretty damn sure they're not unique. The only reason that you guys are checking this shit out is because I am the latest person to make these comments. There's gonna be other people making these comments, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you that right now. And I'm not saying these are my ideas. No, they're just ideas. The only ideas I have is for the name on my channel. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pretty sure there's people out there looking at my channel going, oh, damn, I like that shit. So, just so you know, I'm declaring it right now on the net that the name on my channel belongs to me. Candor. This is me, ladies and gentlemen. See, now that's what I'm talking about. And that's the issue I'm telling you is the biggest issue I have, is the fact that it has to be legal for it to actually press in the idea of, hey, does this belong to you legally? Shit. It belongs to this person. Does it belong to them legally? Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, so literally it's just basically I feel like it is the it's just our society thinking that it's okay to um basically it is a-okay to steal something that doesn't belong to you, but when it belongs to somebody else, oh shit, they're up in arms about that. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh yeah. Yeah, folks, I'm giving you shit. The point is, guys, just be careful. Um, be careful, really, very, very much careful, because you never know. Will never know when somebody will try to take your idea or your your invention in general and take it from themselves because they thought, hey, I can't get any ideas, but shit, he had a good idea. I'll take it. Mine. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And that's why I tell you guys out there, when it comes to this kind of shit, when it comes to you trying to prove ownership in any way, shape, or form, document in every single form. Whether it's code, whether it is technology, whether it's an actual idea. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm taking my own advice. Look, I'm taking my own advice. A lot of these videos, I show my door as basically a point of reference, but you don't know what's on the door. Check this out. These are my ideas. I'm not going to show you exactly my ideas because a lot of people are going to be checking that out, and you probably couldn't read my chicken scratch anyway. But these are basically. See, I got an idea board, guys. That every time I think to myself, okay, what's a good idea? Oh, write it down, write it down. I wrote it down because it's my idea, and mind you, again, it might not be the best idea, because again, I'm on here, and I only get 2 or 3 subscribers. By the way, please subscribe. I appreciate the channel. I get 2 or 3 subscribes per week, bare minimum. Mind you, I prefer more than that. I prefer 1,000 or more, but I'm not trying to be greedy. Exactly, exactly, and that's the problem we have is because our society is so fucked up that we have to get to the point where we have to get to the point where we say, hey, 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 this guy um, has a legitimate claim to this idea because he wrote it down or he put it through the court system, ladies and gentlemen. And just because of that, now everybody's doing that, and now everything, including breathing in a court system, costs actual money. Ladies and gentlemen, we've gotten so bad in reality that we gotten so bad as our society goes that we ask for everything to be paid for money. Money, 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 including ideas. Good guys on high, guys. You can't even protect your own thought process, your own health, your own ability to consume because everything costs money. And now I can't go to my friend's house. I can't go to my best friend's location without. Yeah, 19. No, you see, I can't say that's true because at least in 1920s, you could afford you could afford shit. In 1920s, you could actually afford shit like $100,000, and it would get you a decent apartment, bare minimum. Mind you, it'd be a one room apartment, but at least you'd be enjoying it. But now, 200,000 barely gets you a studio apartment, and it's the smallest thing they got on the fucking docket. Let alone all the concept of food. I mean, okay. I still say Germany is better than now because we could barely afford jack shit right now. We can't afford shit now. Back in those days, if you could afford anything, not everybody was as lucky. I will admit it. Not everybody in Germany was lucky, especially in those days. But at least we weren't being nickeled and dimed half the fucking minute. Mind you, they were starting to do that. They were starting. Okay, well, I'll take your word for it. I'll give you that because I will not deny that back in those days it was pretty bad. But the reason why I'm saying it's I would prefer being in 19 United States, folks. I'm going to say it right now. I'd rather be in the 1920s in the United States for 2 reasons. One, everything was way more cheap, way less expensive. I didn't have to sell a kidney just to eat, especially nowadays. Today, you literally have to give plasma plus your kidney and I think a few toes just to get eggs from the supermarket. Yes, it's gotten that bad, and it's worse in certain states. It's cool. I mean, I understand. I'm just saying, guys, out there, if you haven't, by the way, do me a favor. If you haven't already, please do me a favor and hit that like, subscribe buttons. It definitely helps the channel. Um, That's a good question. Honestly, folks, that's very good. How you doing? How you doing, Maya? And to answer your question, Barry, honestly, it would take something world shaking to actually get to the point where we have the ability to say anything and it will actually stick. Our government is so corrupt that they think that they have every right to do whatever they want. Our our economic we're at a point we're economic crisis, and it gets worse every year because our government thinks that they're more important than the people. Good to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. But no, anyway, like I said, guys, the only thing that we can do is basically keep petitioning at this point. Unfortunately, that's the only thing we can do without inciting riots, and I'm not condoning riots, ladies and gentlemen, because it wouldn't do anything. We've had a few riots before, and all it did was put put their faces on the map and gave them sympathizers. We don't need that. Interest rates, I agree, because they're pushing their luck and they're trying to raise everything. And as far as the porn thing, I feel like everybody's just reaching on that point. We've had pornography for years and years, and honestly, the only thing that it's turned, yes, there are people that have to go through rehab for that, but again, not everybody has that issue. Not, and if you do, hey, if you're trying to get clean and shit, go for it. But I feel like that is hey, look, resistance is one thing, guys. I don't. Hey, I agree with you as far as a resistance, nonviolent, wholeheartedly. But the problem about resistance is it depends on how what form it takes. Um, a lot of times when um, a lot of times back in World War II, if I remember correctly, World War II had a system. Basically, they tried using non-violence, basically propaganda. The problem is the government's already using propaganda against us, against the people. They're trying to use their ability to manipulate the facts in order for us to basically buckle down. Um, but the only thing we can do is use their own tactic against them. They use mind you, they use a lot of that propaganda in times of when we're voting. Remember, have you guys noticed in the time when we're voting for our next president, they try to tell the other candidate is just filthy, they're disgusting, they're not in those words, of course, but this person does not, is not an American. They don't believe in this and that and this and there, and I'm like, yeah. The only reason they do that is because again, it's not technically telling lies because I mean technically they're not telling lies, but they're not telling truths either. They're just basically putting out information that they believe are true. They're basically putting opinions, guys, and there's no actual law against putting out opinions out in media, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is the most devious part of propaganda. You could actually put out an opinion on something or someone, and again, as long as it's known as it's an opinion, then they can get away with it. Be safe, be safe, and I hope you guys enjoy these videos. And as Barry, my dude, you were right. Stay informed, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure that all you guys out there know your rights, whether it's civil or individual, because there will be people out there that will try to test them and think I can do whatever the hell I want when people don't know how to protect themselves. All I'm not saying out there, guys, is protect yourself, because if you don't protect yourself, nobody will. Let's just face it at that. The only people that you can protect are yourselves and your family, and nobody else. If you say your friends, you're very naive, because sometimes your friends aren't always your friends. Hopefully, I'm wrong, and your best friend next to you or your significant other is that exception. But there is, unfortunately, that rule of thumb nowadays, especially nowadays, that you can't trust everyone. Again, I hope the person next to you or the people around you are the exception, because the world is not a kind place. As my father always said, and him saying this months before he left, he said, "The world is not kind. It is full of wolves, and all you have to be is the bigger wolf." No, he didn't say the alpha. He just said the bigger wolf. Because what's an alpha? He's just someone that decided to get up on that hind horse after the last guy. I'm just saying, guys, just make sure that you have your priorities straight. You have your ducks in a row. You know, you dot your I's and cross your T's. Because believe me, this world ain't forgiving, especially for those who don't know how to take care of themselves. Hey, if you're that kind of person, I have full respect for you, Maya, but not everybody is like you. Trust me. If in a mob, and I'm gonna put this out there, and this is gonna be the fullest truth. In a mob, if they're running from per se, uh, a riot or a big natural disaster, everybody in that whole group is gonna run. Someone's gonna trip, and they're gonna be trampled. Believe it or not, folks, that is gonna be the case, and it is the saddest part. How you doing, Ever? Uh, if you guys want to check me out later, I'm gonna be doing another game, and it's gonna be a different game tonight. Um, Hope you guys enjoy it, and if you guys want to talk to me on that game, please do so. I appreciate the love, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one, and be safe out there. Don't run, walk as you exit the den of the shit. Take care.